Hey guys, we're live. We're live. This is Jeff with eBay Addicts. Today, my guest is Sessions with Seon. What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. You know, I got a subscriber that sent me emails and was like, "Hey, get Sessions with Seon on the show. Get him. Call him up. Get him on the show ASAP." Right. So we've been trying to catch up with you, bro. You there?
Yeah, I'm glad to be on.
All right, cool. I'm glad you're hanging out with me today. So, you want to introduce yourself and tell people who you are and where you're from?
All right. My name is Seon. My YouTube channel is Sessions with Seon. I'm from North Carolina, and JT Hustle helped me out. That's what actually even got me into YouTube and reselling everything. But man, Jeff, do you mind if I go to a full bio, man, starting from the beginning? Is that fine?
Go ahead. I got you on full screen, bro. Go ahead.
All right. All right. Well, it all started 2 years ago, actually. I ended up meeting JT Hustles, aka John. That's how I know him. But I met him at church, and I was at one of the lowest points of my life, like to the point of where I felt like I just didn't want to live more, to the point of just wanting to even commit suicide. And after meeting John, he said, "Bro, you don't have to feel like that. Just stop by my house and work on YouTube videos." This was in the very beginning. Like, I think his channel had 70 subscribers then. And I would just stop by after work and just kick it with JT. And we would just work on different videos, and we would come up with different topics and just work on those projects. And that kept me busy. It kept me real active. And also what we would do is we would go out and just source items, because at that time, that was JT Hustle's full-time gig, just buying and flipping items. And also he was doing the courier service. I forgot about that, but he was doing that on the side. But we would go out, we would source these items, and I would just remember we would go to these different stores, like discount stores, and the items would just be like a few dollars. And bro, he would scan it and he would just start buying stuff. I said, "Bro, why would you want this stuff?" He said, "Man, I'm gonna sell it on eBay and Mercari." And I'm like, "Okay." So I remember going to one of the Walmarts, because I'm a merchandiser, so I have a list of Walmarts I go to. And I remember going to the clearance section to this day, and I picked up this item, and I said, "Bro, what do you think about this?" He said, "Man, he get it," but he didn't tell me anything after that. He said, "I'm gonna buy it." He bought it, and he sent me the receipt where someone actually purchased from him for like triple the amount. And I was just amazed. And he did that several times. And that was the eye opener for me to let me know that, wait a minute, there's something real in reselling. So as JT Hustles was continued to do his selling, and he was selling on multiple platforms, he was just teaching me, like, as we would go out, "Bro, this is how you find items. This is where we can source from." We would go to thrift stores, we would go to flea markets, all kinds of places, just in items. And then one day, when I can't remember it, no, we were at a discount store called Roses, and he picked up a it was a dinosaur. It was for Rat World. That's what it was. And that dinosaur was $7. He bought it, and a few days later, it sold for like $150 on eBay. And that done it for me. I said, I got to get a piece of that action. And ever since
Right.
then, man, I would just slowly but surely like list stuff, right? But my thing, this is what all the new people. When I first started on eBay, I remember having like 2 items up there. And I said, "JT, man, why my stuff not selling?" He said, "Bro, you got to list more stuff." And man, as soon as I started listing more stuff, man, I got my first sale, man. And it was being uphill after that. And like I said, going back to where I was at, mentally though, I started seeing changes in my life, because working with JT actually gave me hope. It gave me the feeling of doing something bigger with my life, and just watching him grow his channel. Because one of the things I learned about John early on, he was always been the type of person to give value. Like, he never believed in handouts. He said, "Man, you want to help me? That's perfectly fine. We can work on this whenever you want to. Really, there's no pressure." So, like I said, I would just go and help, assist. I was just a man with the camera. I would hold the camera, and as the more I would hear him talk, about the positive things of just moving forward and becoming your own man, being a businessman rather. And that stuff, it helped me over a period of time just to hear a positive influence speak light into my life. And to this day, man, even though that was 2 years ago, changed my life, man. Honestly, the biggest day was when he called me and he told me his channel had made it to 10,000 subscribers. That made me happy because, like I said, I remember just being there in those early stages, just teaching people the same stuff that they're listening to now, reselling or starting your own business. And then that was one of my happiest days. But then up to the point where I remember being in his kitchen and we were talking, and he said, "Man, out of this, what would you want from this?" I said, "If anything, I just want 1,000 subscribers." He said, "Man, I want 100,000, and I want to teach people how to be better people. I want to teach people how to make money." And from that day on, this is 2 years ago, all of that to fruition. I'm at 1,000 plus. JT Hustles, he's at 100,000 plus. And just the other week we had went to New Orleans. That was just the overall celebration for the 100K. It was like 7 other people. We all went to New Orleans, and he said his biggest month was over $140,000, and that let me know that there is something big in helping people get what they want. So the way I view reselling is I help people get what they want. And that opens doors for me, and that just gives me peace of hope, and just that whole continuation of just moving forward with my life, just being of value, being of service to the next person. So I just wanted to share that. I did, man. I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, yeah. See, on there's an old quote that says, "If you help enough people get what they want, you can have everything that you want." You ever heard of that quote before?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So
Absolutely
that's
right.
all. That's all you got to do is just give value to people, and then if you just help enough other people get what they want, you can have everything that you want. That's kind of the way the world works, you know. So
Yes, sir.
so you were down and out, you were sad, you was depressed, and ever since you met JT Hustles the past 2 years, you kind of turned your life around, right? So you want to tell everybody kind of like what this process was like and what you went through and how you were where you went from 2 years ago to where you're at right now. You want to talk a little bit about how that happened?
Yeah, man. I can go into deeper detail, man. Biggest thing, JT will always instill in me, man. He would say, "You can talk about it all day, but you got to be a doer." He said, "Nothing's gonna change until you make it change, man." So instead of me watching him go out and buy things or to flip, man, I just started doing what he said and became a doer. So I started doing more to get out of my situation. And I'll tell anybody, if they're going through depression or anxiety, whatever it is, do more to help someone else get what they want. That's what helped me. I started focusing on how I can be more of service to someone else than actually worrying about my own personal problem. And that ended up solving itself by just teaching people, no, excuse me, just by assisting people, just being of service. Like, for instance, I love when my phone rings and I get a sale and I get it off as quickly as possible. Um, no delays. I love when a customer can tell me that they're enjoying their product that they purchased from me and they got it in the timely manner. I love that, man. And that are the biggest things that help me. But just like I said, man, for the people who are going through it now, the main key that will free you from whatever you're dealing with is going to be beasts of service for someone else. You gotta give your life to help someone else. Like, if anybody is even just see, because let me even change that. See, what happens to a lot of people, they get caught up in their heads. It's like the thought, but you can't listen to the thoughts in your head. You gotta overcome your thoughts, and you gotta realize that your thoughts are just lies. And you, as long as you're there to provide service for people, then you will free yourself. That's what I had to learn. That's what I learned from. I'm talking, I will work a full-time job, man. I still work my full-time job. I'm in sales and marketing. and I would get off late in the evening, and I would go shoot videos with JT till 11 o'clock at night, and we're just in there shooting videos for his channel. And that's one of the other things. All of JT's stuff is all JT. I take no credit for anything that JT built because he helped free me. He helped free me from myself. He brought me into understanding that you can be your own hero. And that alone, man, it was just more than I ever imagined. Like I said, even to this day, I can go out and source items. Like, for instance, I want to show this one right here. This is one of the ones right here. This item right here, I picked this up. It's just basketball cards, $54 a pop. But one sold for $149, another one sold for $130, another one sold for like $144. It's all on my Instagram. I'm probably getting some of the numbers wrong, but to me, these were just baseball cards that someone else wanted. And just for me to be of service to get someone else what they wanted, that just brings me joy. And I learned that from JT. JT never been the guy to say, man, let's go try to scam somebody or try to get over. JT has always taught me from the beginning, man, give value to people. You give value to people, man, that's gonna help you get what you want. Just like how you just said, man, that's what's gonna help you get what you want. And man, all I wanted at that time was just a better situation, to have a better outlook on life, and that gave it to me. Because it showed me right there, wow, I could literally go to the store, find an item, scan it, and sell it for profit. So yeah, man, I just heard that too. I hope that helped.
All right, cool. We got a question here in the chat. Shamrock Pixie says, how long after you started helping others did it take for you to feel the change for yourself mentally?
Man, it took a year. Honestly, it took me 1 year to get that change, because I'm seeing change around me. But what helped me too, man, I had the assistance of JT Hustles. Now, this is one thing. It's one thing to have to go on a journey alone. But when you see someone literally go from, like, I'm just going to use subscribers instead of money, but you see them go from 70 subscribers to 50,000 to over 100,000 subscribers, just with you being there, being around it. They call it the proximity principle. Just with you being in proximity of people that's winning, your life will start changing, and also for good, or it should change for the good, because you're going to see people winning and you're going to say, if they can do it, I can do it. And it doesn't matter how much you attempt to do it, it's that you do it. Because people can talk a good game, but when you start doing action, that's what changes the whole game. Even if it's small steps turn into bigger ones over time. So yeah, I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, I can tell you're a real positive person. I could tell just by talking to you and being around you, you're a real positive, uplifting type of person. So, they say that you're supposed to be, the average of the 5 people that you hang around with. So the 5 people that you spend the most time with, that's going to be who you are. So if you hang out with a bunch of losers, you're going to be a loser. You know what I'm saying? You hang out, the 5 people you surround yourself with, if they're all hustlers, they're all winners, you're going to win. That's the way it works, right?
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir. Yes,
yeah.
Sir.
So I got a question for you, bro. Right. So I got a question for you. So, what made you start making YouTube videos, and what got you into reselling? You want to talk a little bit about that? First, when I answer this question in the chat, it's from Shamrock Pixie. Says, I struggle with depression and anxiety, PSD. You are amazing. Give hopes to others. Much love. You there?
Yeah,
Seon?
man. That's my whole thing. Yeah, man, I'm glad I can give hope to it. But you had asked me about what made me want to start YouTube, correct?
Yeah, because you hit 1,000 subscribers recently, and I just wanted to talk because there's other YouTube content creators, and they've been working at it, and they just like, man, I'm not nowhere near 1,000 subscribers. I'm not nowhere near my watch time hours. Maybe I should try something else. Maybe I should just give up. But you've been doing this for 2 years now, right? So it ain't something that you just been, because
right.
I look back on your channel, you've been putting content out for 2 years. It's not something that just happened overnight. You've been hustling and grinding for a while, right?
Right.
So
Man,
go
I'm
ahead.
gonna tell you what helped me. Okay,
Go ahead,
man.
bro.
What helped me was actually what it was JT hustles. Like it was just being there because JT is not a firm believer of you just get to sit there and watch him do what he does. Like you have to participate. And I remember he just asked me to do the challenge. He said, "Bro, while you're here, start a YouTube channel. Just start it. Even if you don't know what you want to talk about, the sooner you get started, the sooner you get to figuring it out." So what I did, man, I would just put out content honestly because I would watch him and I seen his growth, and I grew super slow, man. Honestly, I had those challenges. But what helped me the most, I will give you this secret. If you can find someone who has a decent sized channel and collab with them, then more people can see who you are and they can choose to follow you from that. For instance, there's a lot of the times where the only other person besides this video, you're the only other person I've ever collabed with other than JT Hustles. But with JT Hustles being who he is and he helps so many people, they when when the camera's rolling and people see me with him, they say, "Well, who is this guy and why is he with JT Hustles?" Then they get curious. So my goal lately has been just to put up content about reselling because that's one of the things that, like, when I was going through my process, man, I've talked about motorcycles on my channel. I've talked about saving money on my channel. But the thing that helped me actually kind of narrow in on what I talk about as of now was when me and JT and others, when we were in New Orleans and that camera started rolling. Like I said, he just crossed 100K, and I don't think I had done a video with him since 100K, but he had just crossed it, and he pulled the camera up and he said, "Y'all, this is Seon, and he's a reseller." When he said those words, I knew, because I'm in sales and marketing, so I know about my goal is how can I make people's eyes move to make a sale, or excuse me, to make a potential purchase. So at that time, I knew when JT said that I need to come up with as much content possible of reselling, because when those people watch that video, they were going to click my video and they're not going to want to hear about motorcycles. They aren't going to want to hear about saving money. They're going to hear about how can I make some money reselling. So I made that the off the real, man, just throwing content, because I already knew with just doing that video with him, so many thousands of people will watch it. I think that video ended up getting 20,000 views, but out of that 20,000, it caused a few hundred people to actually subscribe to the channel. So I'll give you that, man. Just doing what you're doing, man, collabing with people, making great content, and just not giving up. Because there was times like, man, honestly, I wanted to give up, but JT would just say, "Bro, just keep pushing. Like the sky's the limit." Because he always says, it baffles me sometimes. He'll be like, "Man, I remember when I was sitting here in my house talking to myself, and then you came over, and it's like with you coming over just to help with videos, it didn't make it seem so awkward." So he would always say, man, he would always give me positive insight. But man, like again, to blowing up, honestly, or to growing your channel, man, collaborating with people that are interested in what you're interested in too. Because collaborate, like you can collaborate with anyone, but if you can collaborate with someone talking in the same niche that you're from, like if you did a video with Gary V, like, and you have so much content about reselling, as soon as that video went out, there's going to be people saying, "Okay, we see Gary, but now who is this guy beside him?" Because he knows just as much as Gary about reselling. And then people get curious. And man, so the videos you do with other people with related interests, such as reselling, man, that's where you'll win at. That's what helped me the most, and still growing, but that's what helped me.
Awesome. Yeah, I want to cut some people in the chat. We got BK from the Rockies. I want to give you a shout out for thanks for coming by. He says he's got to get back to work. We got American Made. He said, glad to see y'all talking, Seon and Jeff. We got my man Richie Hustles is in the building, bro. I saw your video you put out the other day, Double Cart Gang, buddy. I just sold a video game today, guys. I paid 50 cents for this game, and it sold for $200 on eBay. It's crazy. So I just want to,
man.
yeah.
Awesome.
Right, and I wanted to give a shout out to Shamrock Pixie and Aaron. So and Wendy is here. So hey guys, so if you have questions, go ahead and drop it in the chat. So I just wanted to ask you a question. So you've been reselling now for about 2 years. You want to elaborate in, what your strategies are? Like what platforms do you sell on? You sell on eBay and Mercari, and what other platforms is it that you sell on, bro?
eBay, Mercari, and Facebook Marketplace. That's my top three. I've tried others like OfferUp, Poshmark, but those really didn't really do it for me. But my favorite, my top three, just to keep it super simple for anyone that wanted to get started today, would be eBay, Mercari, and Facebook Marketplace. And let me tell you why. Now, eBay, I love eBay because it's more instant. Like you can get your funds instant. You can communicate with so many people, and to me, it's like the environment on eBay is more friendlier. But now Mercari, I like Mercari, but it's slower to get your funds. And then I noticed this too on Mercari. You get so many super low ball offers just for no reason. And it makes it a lot more difficult to sell on there. And then I noticed with Mercari, they keep adding so many different fees. Like I think they just added the processing fee. I think that might have been one, but they're just starting to add a lot more stuff. But I've tended to have more success with eBay just with that platform alone. Great platform. But Mercari is super great for a beginner. I always tell my new people that I run across or they see me and they ask me, yo, what are you doing to sell? Like, I mean, what are you doing scanning items like this? I say, well, my goal, I'll sell to put it on eBay. But if you want to get started, you can start with Mercari because with eBay, if you don't have PayPal, eBay will be really difficult. So start with Mercari because with Mercari, all you will have to do is create a profile and then you like instantly you can sell. So I always tell the new people who don't know a thing about reselling to start there, and then I give them educational content on YouTube. My biggest thing before you even get started on any of it is to educate yourself. But Mercari is a great site, and then my last one I wanted to do or tell you all about Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace it's like I want to put it. It will help you save money on shipping costs. So I use Facebook Marketplace when I sell really huge items. One of the most recent items that I had that I actually remember doing a lot of in quantity was it was some pots and pans. I ended up getting them from the local Walmart at discount. They were $5 a piece, but I was selling them for like two for 40. And I bought, I think it was like 20 units, it might have been more, and so many people locally wanted those. I was able to sell them faster, and that allowed me to not have to worry about shipping them off, and then also too charging such a hefty weight or charging such a hefty fee to my consumer because with sending a product that big, I'm talking this product was a few pounds, and because the box was so big, it had so many papers, and just so the product wouldn't move around. And I remember selling one on eBay, and that was just one for $40, and the shipping on it was like $20. So, but locally, I remember there was a lady. She literally, I think she bought 10 of them from me at one time, and it was like Facebook Marketplace helped that deal because if someone would have bought 10 units on eBay, the shipping on that would have been so much that it would have cost them way too much, probably than they would have wanted to bargain for. And then too, it might have would have even left a sour taste in their mouth that they had to pay so much shipping for that particular item, and then had to pay the actual price for the item.
All
So
right. Hey,
preferably my preference is now.
go ahead. I got some questions in the chat. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. You there?
Okay, but
Cool.
preferably like for big items let's say such as TVs or you have rims or just big household appliances that you're no longer using. Facebook Marketplace is a great way to get rid of it fast, and you can sell it locally. So yeah, I just wanted to put that, but you can go ahead with the questions.
Okay, cool. I didn't mean to interrupt you, bro. We had questions in the
No, you're
chat. This one is from Greg. He said, Seon, if you had to choose between Mercari and Facebook Marketplace, which one would you pick?
man, I'm picking Facebook Marketplace. I'm gonna tell you why. Facebook Marketplace, if you have the certain items around you, right? Let's say you wanted to sell a TV. Now you can sell a TV locally, and then the money you save, you can use that to where, let me see how I want to put it. The money you'll have more money profit, because when you're selling bigger items, you will have certain sunk costs. And then too, when you're selling locally, you don't really have to worry about boxing items up, or extra having extra attention to it. Like for instance, selling bigger items with the post office, like if something was to ever happen to that item, it gets damaged, it gets lost or something, then there's a possibility where that customer may want a refund. Now you're out of that item, and so on and so forth. They can leave you a bad review. And but on when you're selling Facebook Marketplace, you can actually meet up in a safe place with the individual and do the exchange. And then honestly too, I don't think Facebook Marketplace really has a place where people can drag you. Like let's say if something just goes wrong, other than making a status about you and saying, hey, this person is a scammer, I really don't think there's a reviews part, but I could be wrong. But Facebook Marketplace, you can have your money instantly. But again, like with Macari's cool. But I noticed with Macari, you have some people that really try to lowball you so much on there. And then too, sales can tend to be lower. Now I'm gonna put it like this. Now with the holidays approaching, sell on Macari. Like list more items to put on Macari. Actually, honestly, cross list everything. Cross list everything, and then see how well that helps you. But if I had to choose, Facebook Marketplace.
Okay, cool, Seon. We had another question from the chat. He said, Seon, are you just doing local Facebook, or are you shipping the product on Facebook? He wants to know.
All right, I do local Facebook, but this is how local. Let's say no more than 20, no more than 20 miles, man. I ran into this. I want to tell you all this will save you time, because this is what hurt me. I remember there was a guy wanting to buy, I think it might have been some rims from me. And I remember the guy hit me up early in the morning, and he's like, yeah, man, I'll meet you at this time, so and so. And he kept responding to me all day, just reaching out. So I'm like, I set up a time. I think it was around 5 p.m. So we set that up. We agreed on it. And I ended up driving probably almost an hour out to meet this guy at like a Walmart or something to do the exchange. And the guy never showed up. So I just wanted to put that out. Like when you're selling local, if the closer you are to your hometown, I'd rather say, the better. But I know when you're actually setting your item up to be sold, you can. I think people from all over can find you, but in the negotiation, if you can have them come closer to you, that can save you a lot of money just in fuel. So you don't have to be running after people. Because I know for myself, that one instance broke me from ever deciding to drive either an hour out just to make an exchange with somebody to get them that item, especially after that individual had left me um so many messages throughout the day as if they were anxious for the item. And then when I finally make it there, they chose not to respond. I haven't heard from that person since then. They've seen all my messages. So I just wanted to share that, when you are selling locally, be mindful of your time. Just
All
remember,
right.
if you go far, you have to take that back, and you may not make any money because the person may not show up. So just keep that in mind. But if you wanted to ship items off, it would just be the same instance. You would need um, a means of getting exchanging funds, excuse me, such as like Cash App or PayPal. I know a lot of people do PayPal. I've never PayPal anybody, or no one has ever PayPal me anything from Facebook. Every sale I've
Hey,
made through Facebook has been face to face.
all right, Seon, I want to ask you a few questions about sourcing. I saw some of your videos. You did some retail arbitrage. You bought some items at Walmart
Mm-hmm.
clearance. And then I saw you at the, I think it was a Dollar Tree or Family Dollar looking for items on clearance or something like that. You want to talk a little bit about sourcing? And do you do yard sales and estate sales and things like that? You want to talk a little bit about some of your places that you like to go sourcing at to get merchandise to resell?
All right. Well, when I go to those places, like those discount stores, um, I usually hit the clearance section first. Like, let the clearance section be your first stop. There's so much good stuff in the clearance section. So I mainly hit there first when I'm at Walmart or Target or Lowe's or anywhere, man. First tip first, clearance section. And then after that, man, that's one of my honestly, I want to leave that. That's your number one thing. Go there first because I made so many hundreds of dollars just in clearance sections because in certain areas some items sell so slow, but in other areas that item is still the amount it actually says on the price tag and more in instances. So when I'm in Family Dollar or Dollar Tree, um honestly, after I leave the clearance section, if I'm just walking down the aisle, I'll just randomly grab something that catches my attention, maybe 10 items just to kind of see what's going on with that specific item. Because sometimes in like Dollar Tree, some of the stuff that I scan, it just doesn't have a history on it. So if I see something that's real neat, I may spend $1 on it. Like for instance, I remember one time I was at Dollar Tree, there was a coffee cup. And I try a lot of the items that I buy, I try to think of what is going on around me. So like by means of holidays or festivals. So for instance, it was going into the Christmas holiday and it was cold outside, and I decided to buy it was these like plastic cups for coffee, and they were $1, but they sold for $10 on Macari. And it was only because of the need. So you can be mindful of that too. When you go into certain areas, think about the need. Like right now, the weather will be changing. The weather will be getting cool. So let's say if you're in a area like where you are, where it's hot outside like all year, there are other locations where when it gets cold, it's going to get cold. And I've made money just by selling thermoses because with me being in North Carolina, it doesn't get too cold here. But I know when a lot of the thermoses go on sale and they're like super low, like I think one time I ran across some, they were like $30, but got them on clearance for like under five. And for each thermos that I sold, people from the Midwest were buying them, or New York were buying them because in our area, North Carolina, it's like, yeah, maybe the coldest it'll get on a night may be like 20 degrees or so, maybe in the teens. But up north and out in Midwest, they're in negative temperatures and people are still working in the cold. So when you're out, think of what could be the need for this item. So I look at that for some, and then another when I'm sourcing. Honestly, going back to it again. I want to put about the just the randomness of it. If something catches my eye, I'll just stop and say, wait, this is just cool, man. Something stopped me to look at it. So I just have to scan it. That's how it was with the Garfield I sold recently. I was at a thrift store and he was just on this back shelf, like in the corner, tucked away. And I'm like, yo, that's Garfield back there. Like name brands, seek name brands. If you can find name brands that are dirt cheap for some odd reason, it could be just no one at that particular place knows what it is. So like that Garfield, he was just on this back shelf. He was $2, and I asked the lady, "Hey, is he's one of the items that is actually on discount also?" She said, "Yeah, I'll give you the discount for that too." So I ended up getting the Garfield for $1.71. Like a week later, that same Garfield sold for $26, I believe it was, and it was only because of the need time of the year. The way I look at it, like right now, we know Christmas is next month, and at that time it was before Halloween. But in my head, it said, okay, if Christmas is coming up, if I buy this Christmas themed Garfield, then will possibly be someone looking for this just to put on a shelf. So with me thinking of that need, and I said, wait a minute, I could feel that need by literally just taking the $1.71 and then just taking it and purchasing the Garfield and listing them on eBay. But now
Right,
let's say if I would have ran across him on December 23rd, I probably would have left him there because
right.
right here at Christmas and 24th, a lot of stuff is closed, a lot of hustle and bustle. Then after Christmas, everything Christmas themed just dies. And that's one of the things
Right.
to be mindful of when you're looking at it. And so like with me thinking like 3 months out, hey, this will give me time to get him sold possibly. So I always look at just the need and if it's just catches my eye. But definitely
So
when you're outsourcing, start at clearance sections. And then two, if you could stop by yard sales, because yard sales, they're so amazing. For instance, here's another scenario. Um, there was a lady at a yard sale. She told me her father passed away and went to her home actually, and they had a whole lot of his stuff there. It was his house, and they're looking on the table. There was just this old mug. I said, "Ma'am, you know, what about this? Is there anything wrong with this? Oh, it's just junk, pretty much. Like you can have it." So I threw it in the little box I had, and then I already knew in the back of my mind just from educating myself. That's one of the biggest things I put you on. Educate yourself and kind of know what's selling and kind of what to look out for. Because I remember 2 years ago, me and JT, we were watching a video of a lady talking about tiki mugs, and the tiki mug stuck in the back of my mind because she was like, if you can find certain mugs, some can sell for $1,000 or some can just even sell for 20, 30, $40. So I ended up seeing that tiki mug, threw it in the box because she let me have it. And then as soon as I got home, listed it, and it sold not 2 days later for $36 for that tiki mug. And I was just so thankful just from educating myself to know that, oh, whenever I see this, be on the lookout because it's going to come like a flash of light and I got to be ready. So that's where you get from educating yourself.
right. So Seon, I got some questions. What is your goal? We're in fourth quarter now. Christmas is around the corner. What is your plans for ramping up for fourth quarter? Do you have any tips or tricks or advice you could give somebody with fourth quarter coming up?
My fourth quarter tip is if you have items that are already listed on those sites that I just mentioned, Mercari, eBay, and Facebook Marketplace, just go through and edit them so they can be at the top of the listings where everybody is looking. That's my number one tip. Usually on Sundays when I get a little free time, I like to go through my listings just to see how everything is going. A lot of them I'll just end and start them over, or depending on certain times of the week, if I notice it's not getting the traction I want, I'll just end it and relist it. So I say just relist items that you have sitting or that aren't really making any traction. Now is the time that those will sell because with a lot of people going into the fourth quarter and getting ready for Christmas, they're looking for trinkets and small things just to give to family members that they don't really have to spend a lot of money in, but they really want to give nice gifts. And a lot of the items that I run across, they're super nice things, but during the year, or to me, they're super nice things, but during the year, it may not be on someone's radar. But at Christmas time, and you got that cousin that you really don't talk to, but if you see them at grandma's house, you'd want to have them a gift. Well, instead of spending a lot of money on it, you can just go on, like Macari, and then a lot of people buy from there. Well, here's the thing: you'll be the one selling that item. So with your items relisted and all those things that you had just kind of waiting around, relist them and then make those potential sales so you can help give that cousin at grandma's house or somebody else's cousin at grandma's house a very happy Christmas.
Hey, Sion, tell people, so what are some of the items that you love to sell the most on eBay and Macari? And can you show us, you brought some of the those baseball cards with you. Can you show us what to look for, how to scan the items, how to look for the sell-through rate, all that? Can you give us an example?
All right. Yeah, one of my favorite things to sell on Macari, and eBay is actually these cards. These basketball cards. I don't know if you can be able to see them because it's
I
late,
can see it
but
right there. Yeah,
okay,
let's see. Zion is on the cover. What kind of, is that Panini or what kind of basketball cards are those?
Panini. They're Panini,
Right.
and this is the 10 pack, and I'll tell you where they're located. So when you're at Walmart, you can get them yourself. If you go up
Tell
to the
us.
front, say what now?
So go ahead, tell us. Give us the info.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. If you go to the front of the store, they will have a trading card section. Pokemon is up there. Um, They have baseball cards up there, basketball cards. They're usually at the front of the store near the checkout area. If you don't see it, you could ask one of the salespeople at the Walmart, "Hey, where is the baseball cards located or the trading cards located?" And they will show you. That's where these cards are located. And all you have to do is when you get time, you can literally just go through all of them and just see what they're going for. And all you have to do is find this section, pull up your eBay app, then scan it. You will go to filters, and then it's going to say sold and completed items like midway to the end of the list. And then it will tell you if the item is worth purchasing or not, depending on, you kind of check out the trend of it. Because honestly, everything up there may have showed a history, but I've seen in instances where, especially like yesterday when I was checking out, I was looking at some Pokemon cards, and I think they might have been $5. I'm just gonna throw that out. But I'm looking on eBay, and the sold listeners are saying a lot of five, which is like 5 sets of cards, sold for $5 or something along that line. I'm like, well, if I'm only gonna get one for five, like I'm just gonna leave it alone. Like I'm not even gonna consider it. So you kind of look at the history of what it's selling or what it has previously sold for, so you will know if it's worth purchasing or not. Because I've run across instances where it could seem like a great idea, but someone else kind of has their source of getting items and they can get more than you and lower the price. And usually when a person can get a lot more and lower the price, that's usually where everyone's gonna go. But like I said, but for these cards, I think they usually come out maybe every few weeks or every week or so. Honestly, for the people that don't know anything about that particular niche, like the guys that know don't tell a soul. I just found this out not too long ago, and I said when I was on your channel, man, I was just gonna just spread the news because, man, for the rate at these cards, literally, you get them at $54 and you can sell it for $144. Like, man, it's all gain. Like, I haven't seen a loss yet. I mean, you have people that try to lowball offer you, but even the lowball, like one dude just hit me with a lowball offer like an hour ago on Macari. He said, "Man, I'll give you $110 for them," and that was lowball. And it's because like, wow, for these pack of cards that I have for $54, someone's lowballing me for 110. So next time you're out at the Walmart, just stop through the trading card section just to see if you can run across any of these basketball cards. It's called the 10 mega pack, no, excuse me, 10 mega box exclusive reactive blue mosaic prisms,
Yeah.
19 through
Oh,
20 year with New
ho-
Orleans Zion Williams on the front. Yeah, what up?
hold it up on the camera so we can see it. Hold it up.
All right. All right there.
There you go. So that way you guys can see what to look out for right there. There's the Panini
Yeah.
basketball cards. They're new in the shrink wrap, right?
So yeah,
Got
and don't take the wrap off. Leave the wrap on, because they sell
right.
more
Got
when
you.
they're unopened. Yeah,
Got it.
so
Got it.
when you buy them, yeah. So
Got it.
like right now, I just keep them in my car. Actually, I keep a lot of the items that I sell in my car because I'm so big on customer service. When my phone rings, I try to have like a lot. I kind of know what's gonna sell just by looking at it, and if something surprisingly sells, I know I can make my way to go get it and then make sure it's sent at an appropriate time. But for the items that I know that have the strongest possibility of selling, such as basketball cards or just lighting fixtures or whatever, when I'm looking through the views, I keep a lot of that stuff with me. So when my phone goes off, I literally, while I'm on my route, I'll make a stop by the post office, maybe an hour or so after they've sent their money, or they sent, or I've been notified by whatever selling site that I'm
Hey,
on. Rather,
all right.
mhm.
Go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead. I
because I
didn't
was
mean
gonna
to
say,
interrupt you.
because
Go
like,
ahead.
oh, you're fine. Because I was gonna say, because like with Macari, when I'm selling on there, they will notify you. But with Macari, you won't get the funds until the whole process is completed. But with eBay, the person is already paid, and even with recently, I've been running an incentive where I'll tell the individual, or I'll put it in the subtitles. This item ships today if purchased by 4 o'clock p.m. That gives me time to make it to the post office. So yeah, I always try to make that my best way. So just for the customer's benefit, man. My number one thing is look out for the customer. How can I be of service to the customer?
All right, Seon. So, give me your top 3 tips that would help a reseller. If someone's a new reseller or someone's a part-time reseller, give me your top 3 tips that would help somebody.
All right. Top three. Number one, educating yourself. You have to educate yourself. That will save you the most because if you don't educate yourself, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. So, number one, educate yourself. And rather that be with shipping costs or how to list effectively or just pricing, educating, knowing what items you have, whatever educating yourself means, do that. The next one would be to let's see. The next tip would be cross list items like that. That one tip alone, I remember learning that from JT. Cross listing will help you make faster sales because you may have it listed on eBay and it may take a few days for it to sell. But if you might have listed it on Macari, it sold that day. Or if you might list it on Facebook Marketplace, that same item, it could sell like right after, and somebody's ready to meet with you right now because they like what you have and they need it. So cross listing will definitely save you. That saved me in the past. For especially items that I'd list on one site and they sat and then put it on the next one and it just sells instantly. So cross listing will definitely save you. And my last tip would mainly be to help with a new person. Be patient. You have to be patient with yourself and understand that mistakes are prevalent. I made a lot of mistakes, honestly, like I told you, because of lack of educating myself. But what happens is, okay, I'm like, something's wrong. Let me educate myself because you're not going to know everything. So there's not, and don't let education be the excuse to why not get started. Like, yes, you want to educate yourself to know what's going on, but action is what matters. So take the action, make the mistakes, learn from them. That's the whole key to the game. You're going to make mistakes. I remember it might have been my second or third sale. I can't remember what site I was on. I thought a person paid for the item. I was so happy. Ended up shipping the item, and then no money was in any of my accounts. So I had to take that one slap on the wrist. No one to complain about but me. It was my fault. I should have done more research on what I was doing. And that happens too when you're starting with new platforms. Because if you type in selling apps on like your app store, there'll be a list of places that show up, but it's new territory. And with new territory, when you're far from it, now you're running the risk of the people that know what they're doing. And the people that know what they're doing, they can really make things challenging for you. So I definitely want to just put that out there. Just be patient with yourself and understand when you like losses aren't losses, they're only lessons. Just learn from it. So that's the way I look for. If I for every deal I've messed up, I say, how can I make this better? And then I focus on that, making it better, making it better for myself, making it better for the consumer. And I've just focused on that, but it takes the patience of screwing it up and just say, okay, Sion, you screwed up. Now let's move forward. How do we eliminate this or eliminate the chances of this not happening again?
Okay. All right. Hey, Sion, give me your final thoughts, bro. If someone wants to first tell people where they can reach you out on Instagram and YouTube.
Yeah, man, you can definitely reach out to me on YouTube. Sessions with Seon, Sessions with Seon, Seon. Or you can check me out on Instagram, the letter S underscore DABIKEMAN. That's S underscore the bike man. The reason why is that I love motorcycles. A lot of my money that I make from reselling funds my activity, and that's another thing. Let the money you make from reselling fund your hobbies. So that's how you can reach out to me. And if you have any questions for me, feel free to DM me. It's no problem. I'll help you the best way I can. But for a lot of the content that I've already talked about, I have that on my channel. Also, it's my most recent stuff. So you don't even have to dig for it. All the bad stuff that I talked about, the boring stuff, that's years and years ago, all the bad stuff. So the newer stuff is, fairly edited, a little bit more emotion, a little bit more explanation, and a little bit more value. I added more value to my newest stuff
All right.
because
All right.
that's one of the things JT told me, man. Just give the game. It's not meant to be taken with you. So just as well, I just told you, if you find those cards, you will definitely make money off of them. I didn't want to hold that secret to myself because one of the things me and JT believe in and the people around us, abundance. It's all in abundance. You're not taking anything from me with me telling you any of this advice. There's enough for everybody.
All right, cool. So, give me your final thoughts, Seon, and then we'll get you out of here, bro.
All right, yeah. Final thoughts, man. I want to just tell everybody this: if you're not started with reselling, if it's something you're just thinking about doing, definitely just give it a shot. You know, it's not gonna hurt you. Give it a shot to see what it's going. If you don't like it, that's fine. But give it a shot. See what it does. Educate yourself. Cross list your items and just be patient with yourself. That's what I want to leave to any one of you all. That here's the words that's coming from me. And then too, if you're going through depression or anything, I know the COVID pandemic has taken a toll on everybody. If you're going through just some of the roughest times in your life, just remember that too will pass. And I don't know if you can see my shirt, but my shirt says, "Be still and know that I am God." And that's Psalms 46:10. And I wear this shirt just to let me know that. Like, be still. And it's not meaning be still and not do nothing. It's just understand you're at where you are. God is with you. And then you think about it like this. If God has you there, then there's a way where you can make it out of your situation. It gives you hope. And I just wanted to just say that because I remember, like I said, when I was going through and how JT Hustles helped me, literally, only thing I did, I was still, and he can't, it was almost like an instant, like I even told you earlier. I met JT at church. So this was, I'm still, I didn't have to go and seek him. I was still, and I said, you know what? How can I make life better? And I just realized if I could help someone. So while you're going through it, yes, you can go through things, but realize now this is what's gonna get you out, helping somebody. So yes, we all went through this, whatever we're going through. Now help somebody. That is the ticket. Use your talents to help other people. That will free you. I promise you, that is your freedom. That's the reason why I love to resell. I take my talents and I use them to help other people. And I just want to leave that, man, for anybody that heard that.
All right, cool. We got you, Seon. I appreciate you for hanging out. I want to say hi to Shamrock Pixie. We got Blood, Sweat, Cell here. We had the bargain effect here. He says he loves your energy and excitement. So, hey, thanks for hanging out with me, bro. You have a great night, all right?
Man, you do the same, bro. I'll be looking forward to talking to you soon.
All right, have a great day. All right, bye.
All right. Bye-bye.